Ever wondered why some brands are more memorable than others? It's not by accident, but by design. Yes, you heard it right, design. But we're not just talking about aesthetics here. We're referring to branding and identity design, a crucial aspect of graphic design. Branding isn't just about crafting an eye-catching logo, it's much more. It's about creating a comprehensive visual representation of a company or an organization. It's about defining a brand's personality, its values, its very essence. It's about shaping the perception of the brand in the minds of consumers, making it stand out in the crowded marketplace. It's about creating a unique and recognizable presence that resonates with the target audience, forging a strong and enduring connection. It's about telling a compelling story that engages, inspires, and ultimately sells. So let's dive into the process of creating a brand identity. What exactly is a brand identity, and why is it so important? Now there's a question that begs a thoughtful response. Let's delve into the captivating world of brand identity. Picture it as an intricate puzzle, each piece representing an aspect of a company or organization. It's more than just a logo or a catchy tagline. Rather, it's a complete visual language that communicates who you are, what you do, and what sets you apart. A brand identity is the face of your brand, the visual representation that people associate with your business or organization. Now, let's not confuse brand identity with brand image. While they might sound similar, they're quite different. Brand identity is what you, as a business, convey to the world. It's your mission, your values, your promise to your customers. On the other hand, brand image is how your brand is perceived by the public. It's the impression that people have about your brand in their minds. So, how do you understand your brand identity? That's where a brand audit comes in. This is a thorough examination of a brand's current position in the market compared to its competitors. It helps identify your brand's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a chance to take a step back and assess your brand's values, personality, and target audience. Consider it like this. A brand audit is like a health checkup for your brand. Just as you would go to the doctor to understand your health status, a brand audit helps you understand the health of your brand. It provides insights into how your brand is performing and where improvements can be made. In essence, a robust brand identity can set a business apart from its competitors. It's a powerful tool that can influence customer perceptions, build loyalty, and drive business growth. It's the heart and soul of your brand, the essence that makes you unique. With a solid understanding of what a brand identity is, we can now move on to the next step. Before we start creating, we need to do our homework, right? Well, this is exactly where research and analysis come into play. As graphic designers, we don't just create art, we solve problems. And to solve a problem, we first need to understand it. So how do we do this? By conducting market research, of course. This is how we get a clear picture of the competitive landscape and the preferences of our target market. It's about looking at what's out there, what's working, and what isn't. We explore the trends, the designs that are making waves, and those that are sinking without a trace. This gives us a handle on what our audience is responding to. But it's not just about the market as a whole. We also need to take a deep dive into our specific target audience. Who are they? What do they like? What don't they like? And most importantly, why? This is where demographics, psychographics, and behavior analysis come in. We need to understand our audience's age, gender, income, education, lifestyle, attitudes, and values. This information helps us to create designs that resonate with them on a personal level. But we can't stop there. Our research needs to extend to our competitors as well. What are they doing? How are they doing it? What can we learn from them? And more importantly, how can we differentiate ourselves from them? This is called competitor analysis, and it's a crucial step in the process. Conducting thorough research and analysis not only informs our design process, but also helps us to anticipate and meet the needs of our audience. It allows us to create designs that are not only visually appealing, but also meaningful and relevant. So, we've done our homework. We've explored the market, analyzed our audience, and examined the competition. We've gathered a wealth of information, insights, and inspiration. And with these in our toolkit, we're ready to move on to the next step: crafting a brand strategy. With a good grasp of the market and our audience, we can now craft a brand strategy. This strategy will guide our design process, helping us to create a brand identity that's not only visually striking, but also deeply resonant with our audience. And that, my friends, is the power of research and analysis in graphic design. A logo can make or break a brand, so how do we design one that sticks? Well, it begins with understanding the role of a logo in brand identity. A logo is more than just a pretty picture, it's the cornerstone of a brand's visual identity, a symbol that encapsulates the essence of a brand. It's what people remember, recognize, and relate to. There are different types of logos to consider. A wordmark logo is entirely text-based, think Google or Coca-Cola. A lettermark logo uses initials or acronyms like HBO or IBM. Symbol logos rely on a standalone icon like Apple's apple or Twitter's bird. And then there's the combination mark, a blend of wordmark and symbol like Adidas or Burger King. But how do we go from an idea to an iconic logo? It starts with sketching, ideation, and conceptualization. This is the creative playground where you let your ideas run wild. Sketch out as many ideas as possible, then sift through them to find the gems. Don't be afraid to think outside the box, and remember, simplicity often trumps complexity in logo design. Once you've landed on a concept, it's time to refine. This is where you'll consider your color choices, typography, and imagery. Each of these elements plays a significant role in conveying your brand's personality and message. For instance, red can evoke feelings of passion and energy, while blue might convey a sense of trust and reliability. The typeface you choose can also speak volumes about your brand, whether it's a classic serif or a modern sans serif. But a logo is just one part of the puzzle. A cohesive visual identity system extends the logo design to create a comprehensive visual language. This includes supporting visual elements like patterns, icons, illustrations, and a defined color palette and typography. These elements work together to create a consistent and recognizable brand presence across various touchpoints. With a strong logo and visual identity system, we are well on our way to creating a memorable brand. Remember, good design is good business. So let's create logos that not only look good but also tell a story and leave a lasting impression. Consistency is key in branding, but how do we maintain it? Well, it all starts with a comprehensive set of brand guidelines. This is the rule book that outlines how your brand should be represented across all touchpoints. It includes directives on logo usage, color palettes, typography, visual elements, and even the tone of voice for your brand messaging. Think of brand guidelines as your brand's DNA. It's the blueprint that ensures your brand remains unmistakable, regardless of where it's seen or heard. Whether it's on a billboard, a social media post, or a product packaging, your brand should always be identifiable. But creating brand guidelines is just the first step. The real challenge lies in implementing these rules consistently across all platforms and communication channels. This is where collaborating with stakeholders becomes crucial. Everyone involved in your brand, from your marketing team to your external partners, needs to understand and adhere to these guidelines. Now, this might sound like a daunting task, but there are tools and strategies to make it easier. Digital asset management tools, for instance, can help you maintain a centralized repository of brand materials. This allows your team to access the correct versions of your logo, color codes, typefaces, and more, ensuring uniformity in your brand's visual elements. But remember, consistency is not a one-time effort. It requires regular brand audits to assess if your brand's representation is in line with your guidelines. These audits can help identify inconsistencies, providing opportunities to adjust and realign your brand's presence. Managing brand assets is equally important. It's about organizing and sharing brand assets within your organization so everyone is on the same page. This not only enforces brand consistency, but also saves time and resources in the long run. In the end,
Maintaining brand consistency is about creating a brand identity that's not just visually appealing, but also deeply memorable. It's about forging a connection with your audience that goes beyond aesthetics. It's about telling your brand's story in a way that's consistent, compelling, and authentic. With these steps, you are now equipped to create a brand identity that is not just visually appealing, but also deeply memorable.
Creating a brand identity might seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be. We've walked through the process of mastering graphic design with a particular focus on branding and identity, beginning with understanding the brand itself, its values, personality, and target audience. We've emphasized the importance of defining what sets your brand apart. We've also delved into the necessity of conducting thorough research and analysis. Understanding your audience, the competitive landscape, and industry trends is key to creating a brand identity that truly resonates. And let's not forget about the significance of a strong logo. It's much more than just a pretty picture. It's the cornerstone of your brand's visual identity. Coupled with a cohesive visual system and strict brand guidelines, you can ensure consistency across all touchpoints. Remember, a strong brand identity doesn't just look good, it resonates with its audience and stands the test of time. So let's get out there and create something memorable.